What up, gang? How y'all doing tonight? As always, new place, new setup. Always got to check. Voice audio. Do I sound okay? Loud and clear. That's great. Awesome. How's the music? Does the music sound okay too? What's up, J7? Technically, right now, I'm not your neighbor, man. I'm in Edmonton right now. You guys don't hear the music right now? Oh, interesting. Let's see. Let's see if this helps. I'm always weirded out by this stuff, man. It's like every single time I go to a new setup, something just always changes. I'm glad you guys can at least hear me. I mean, that's really is the most important part, but I just don't understand why things get like so finicky, you know? This K911 man, what's up? J Kings, what up? What up? Fast Live, hello. Home Depot, what's up, man? Justin, what's up, man? What's up? My man Ron G's always watching, man. He's always watching. Tony, hello, hello. Staying trading. What's up, man? Kigs of the West, always good, always good. Renati. OCC, Amir, Leon, what's up, man? KCG, my man Woozy, what up, man? Stewart, Chat GPT, Dash Coben, what up, man? Sup, man? Bald TZ, what up, man? Greeting Teapot. All right, man. Why wouldn't audio work for music? That is very fascinating. You're looking for some long on gold, huh? Oh, you're in one right now. I haven't taken a look at the price of gold. What's gold doing right now? You're in longs on gold right now, eh? All right, all right. I mean, we did test the low of the range. We're holding the level at the moment. Would be interesting to see. As usual, I gotta type this stuff in here. NQ and GC chart review 1020 PST. Thumbs up. Lucid Pro 50K giveaway. There you go. Musashi, what's on, man? Cheyenne, you're in long at 675, huh? 675. 675. Oh, until 675. Okay, you're getting there. You're getting there, Cheyenne. What's your entry, dude? What's up, right guy? I mean, technically, the Apex Legacy accounts OCC is the only account that I know of. It was the one that I traded with before I had gotten capped out. So, I mean, I liked it. Intraday trailing drawdown can be a bitch sometimes, but otherwise, though, man, like, yeah, man, the Cape. If it truly holds on to the same perks that the old legacy accounts had, then yeah, I would 100% prefer it because taking an uncapped payout is sick. Tristra, was it Tris Trades? Tris Trades. That's what it's saying. Tris Trades. What up, man? Sean, you're in at 625. Okay. Okay. I see you. I see you. Definitely pushing above the range high that we had created, but it's possible. Possible. I don't like that 15-minute candle for your sake, though. Kings of the West. Are you being literal about your comment? What's up, Guang Guang? Jazza, what up, man? Yeah, Lance, man. It's been rangy. It's been rangy this session. I mean, even now, I look at the hourly on the NQ and I honestly can't trust that, right? Like you would naturally think, okay, bullish, right? Like I think we look like we're trying to push higher, but that's a lot of consolidation for the hour. Like I don't know if we're going to get a lot of action tonight, to be perfectly honest, because it's just so rangy, right? So this might be one of those days where we scalp. I don't know. We'll have to give it some time and decide, but I will go through the chart review as usual as we gear up closer and closer to 10:20 Pacific Standard Time here. Ren trades. Yeah, I know everyone always wants to know that stuff, but all I can really say is that in regards to any of my reference points that I use, the channels, the levels, the areas of interest, anything like that, I generally use larger time frames. So like things like hourly, daily, weekly, whatever it may be, I use larger time frames, and I'm just looking for support and resistance, right? Because I'm a price action trader. I'm looking for how price reacts, and I trade that, right? So that's essentially kind of the best way that I can go about that. As far as learning all the intricacies, it is something that I go through my mentorships or through my one-on-ones, more so because of the fact that it's not as simple as me just saying like, hi, this is the line, draw it here, and that's it. Any of the students who have worked with me will understand exactly what I'm referring to. I think that if it was really as simple as, yeah, just draw the line here and our world's problems will be solved. I mean, I think that a lot of us probably would be a lot more successful trading, but yeah, there's a lot of nuances to it. And that's why I always feel, people ask me also the question like, Alan, do you ever think about doing a, why don't you just share your chart review of like every morning, before the market opens, where do you think the market's going to go? I don't like doing that because I don't know where the market's going to go. At least not the way that I trade, right? Like I know there are a lot of individuals that have different strategies and different ways to figure out and anticipate where price might move to. But personally for myself, I don't put a lot of eggs into that basket naturally because I think that every day, every period of market, it's going to offer something, and I'm just here to humbly be able to take advantage of whatever that offers, right? So, volume profile is bell curve D-shaped. Great. I don't trade with volume profile, so no idea what that means. But if what's up, Pete? Benny, have I done any trades today? Yeah, I took a couple of scalp trades. I didn't really trade much today. I've been at a wedding all weekend, so I honestly haven't had the time to even like look at my charts much. So not much today, man. I hear you, man. What's up, Sam? Yeah, man. I'm flying back tomorrow. What's good, Elevated Life? Hey, Adam. Hey, Andrea. I'm in a very uncomfortable position, by the way, guys. Like, I'm like, the table's very low to the ground, and I'm literally sitting on a couch right now. So I'm like, I'm going to be fidgeting a lot for sure. That's a nice bullish 2-minute candle. Hopefully, this 5-minute candle, Cheyenne, for your case, breaks the highs there. The highs that we just formed earlier in that range to give you the follow through that you're looking for. We'd want that for your case. One of our guys in the chat right now has this trade. I'll just forecast it out for you guys. Got this trade set up right now. He's looking for 675 is what he's looking for right now. So basically 50 points. Looks like you're getting there. I'm rooting for you, Cheyenne. Our man Cheyenne in the chat. Let's get that long trade up there. 675 is what our man Cheyenne's looking for. Zach, what up, man? Rickinson, man. Sup. Yeah, Zach, the market's hasn't done much tonight. Some opportunity here and there, but yeah, it hasn't really done as much as we probably would have wanted, right? How was my trading week last week? It was good. It was good. It was a good trading week. Locked in a couple payouts. Did some of that on stream with you guys. Yeah, no, it's been good. It's been good. Yeah, Pete. I'm just for family. We have a wedding here, so. This Airbnb multi-screen setup. I mean, technically, both of my Airbnbs have had multi-screen setups. It's just the place I'm staying at right now. No, it's not my new home. I wouldn't be Airbnb my own home. So, yeah, I'm just using the living room TV, and then I got my laptop, and I got my little portable monitor is what I got going on here. Hey, Zoe. Jason General. What up, man? Hawaii. It's on my bucket list to visit Hawaii, man. I love my poke, so got to visit there. Yeah, Nominums, I'm moving. I'm actually, I will be actually moving out here to Edmonton. Nice, fast life. Good stuff, man. Always appreciate the student of the business mindset. Shakir Shamani, what up, man? Slurs. Yeah, man. Yeah. 10-4's dashboard is like, it's sick. It's sick, man. I like it too. Give me a second here. Let's see. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I was looking super up. It's because my if you look at my Instagram, you'll see it. My it's the living room TV. It's up there right now. Yeah, it's like so like I do have to like bend my neck quite a bit right now. It's like more uncomfortable than usual. Because usually I could just like tilt my neck up a little bit, but right now I literally have to like. It's like yeah, it's not in the most comfortable position. That's for sure. I know, Kamya. I don't know much about French, but I'll pick it up. I'll pick it up. SBS only night question mark only night. What do you mean by that? You asking if this is the only night I'm streaming? No, I stream 5 nights a week. Pablo Sanchez. Yeah, you got it, man. I'm still staying in Canada, just moving to another province. Shakir Shamani, yes, that's right. In about 7 minutes here, guys, I will go through the chart review for NQ and for gold. For now, we chat. I'll answer some questions in the chat, whatever you guys got going on for now. And also, I'm rooting for my man Cheyenne. Cheyenne's actually one of the students of mine, actually, that started working with me. I can't remember how long it's been now, actually, but so he's in his long trade right now. I'm really hoping he gets his target hit, man. Getting close. We're 5 points away here, guys. 5 points away for our man Cheyenne. Yeah, Nominum's an hour difference. An hour difference. So I'm an hour ahead. So usually it'd be 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time that I start these streams, but for me, it's already that time. Like it's 11 o'clock right now for me here. Or 11:14, I should say now. Hey, Cheyenne, did you get TP there? Did that tap? I don't know if that filled for you or not, man. Because technically it did tap 675. I just don't know if that gave you the fill. What up, Love Guru? What is better operate, MNQ in Asia or New York time? SBS, not really too sure what you mean by that question again. If you're asking if you should trade MNQ or MNQ during Asia or London or New York. I mean, that's a preference, right? Like, I guess trade wherever you want. I mean, M&Q is small size, generally what I recommend for students. So if you're still learning, absolutely use it, right? But in terms of like the session, I mean, I don't think that's really relevant. That's like comes down to like your style of trading, right? Generally speaking, New York's a lot more aggressive than Asia. So I guess, yeah, naturally, if you're going to trade, if you're trading micros in Asia, you definitely should be trading micros in New York because New York is just wild. Yeah, nom nom. It's gonna be up to 1 a.m. It'll be a whole different ball game for me here. That's for sure. But I'm okay with that because it actually gives me an extra hour to do like the bedtime routines and stuff like that for my kids. Because sometimes, honestly, it's quite a rushed experience for me having to put them to bed and then hop on stream because like literally sometimes like down to the wire, and sometimes I can't actually do it in time because it's just depending on the given night. Some of my kids don't like to go to sleep right away, so. I mean, Cheyenne. I know Cheyenne shooting for this for a particular reason. Um, I'm just looking at this right now. I mean, I think he should be able to get it. I'd be shocked if it doesn't hit, to be honest. At this stage, like earlier on, I would have been a little bit more skeptical just because of the way the chart was forming, but he should be able to get this tap. Hopefully, you get it, man. Cheyenne, I'm rooting for you, dude. Yeah, if you're learning how to trade SBS on Asia or London, it's going to come down to what do you prefer, right? Like what type of price action do you prefer, right? Asia, London's going to offer a little bit different for sure, and the aggression of how the moves work are different as well. So I would say whatever works best for your current trading environment, right? Holding short from 725 on NQ. Okay, okay. If you guys been paying attention to the marker points that I've been talking about for these past few streams, we had a very nice respect and reaction up here again. We tapped the 731 level, and then we had that nice closure underneath the 709. There you go. We got a target hit from our man Cheyenne in the chat. Let's go. That's a nice 50-point trade for our man Cheyenne. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. Good trade. Way to lock in that TP. Yeah, right guy. Now, man, in terms of business wise, no, not really. I've actually like cut back on a lot of my client work in terms of the amount of client work that I do, just because these days I'm like quality over quantity now. It's also why when a lot of people reach out to me, even like for coaching and stuff like that, I'm very particular to be honest, just because like I want to help as many people as I can, but like obviously time, I have to be very realistic about that as well. I've actually cut down as far as like coaching, or sorry, not coaching, as far as like business restaurant clients go. I'm pretty much kind of cut down significantly. So now this move actually doesn't really slow things down. It's just helping me expand more. So I'm helping the client actually expand across the country. So that's kind of what we're working on doing now. Cheyenne, of course, man, of course. Anytime, man, anytime. Let's see how price reacts. I mean, now we're pushing. What are we at? 680 now. We're testing the age. We're testing the highs, the opening highs of the session off of Globex right now. I'm in the position right now, thought process of like I'm not willing to do anything at this point where we are, just because we're coming up to some key areas, right? That 700, 709, 731, all walls there, right? So, am I interested in maybe like if we were to, scalp some shorts off those areas? Yeah, I think that could be. But if I'm looking for like a full blown move, we'll have to see what price action looks like as we form. As we've kind of talked about, we've kind of been ranging quite a bit. So thanks, right guy. Blambo. You should ask Cheyenne that question. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, 100%, man. I get that. I get that, man. All right, gang. I think we are It is that time now, guys. It is that time. It is 10:20 Pacific Standard Time. So we're going to hop right into this. All right. We're going to hop right into this. So any questions in the chat, I will answer them later on. I am going to do my usual chart review now, which means I'm not going to be looking at the chat box at the very moment in time. Give me a second. Let's just fix up this chart a little bit here. All right, we'll get started here. Welcome, guys. For those who are tuning in for the first time, my name's Alan. Azheng Trades here. I am the pre-London host for Project 365. And Project 365 is a culmination of 5 different hosts who streams about 10 hours a day, 5-6 days a week. Like I said, I take care of the pre-London, so that's 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time until midnight. I got our man Ron G, who's probably lurking in the shadows right now. He streams during the Asia session before me. And then we got our man, the GOAT, Jake Ricci, who streams the New York session. And then Lamelli and Mitch, they stream the afternoon session. So no matter where you are from around the world, I think we've got something to offer you guys. So if it's your first time here, definitely drop a like and subscribe, because even if it's not my session you're going to stream into, I think there's plenty of us that will have a great deal of gems that we can drop and kind of support you guys in your learning as a trader. So whether you're brand new or experienced already, I think we've got something for you guys either way. Foundationally, we've all taken Rake's Mastermind from, depending on what session. I'm from Mastermind 6. I believe Ron G was Mastermind 1. I've actually never asked him that, but I'm pretty sure he is. And so if basically all of us have gone through it at some point in time. So foundationally, we're like that. So, but then we've obviously revised and refined our training to what it makes sense to us as traders. Because individually, I think it's important for us to make it our own. So we're all a little bit different. And you'll notice that as you kind of cycle through and watch all the different hosts on Project 365. Generally, I have the opportunity to engage with the chat a lot more because I generally have the slower session. Because, again, the hours leading up to an opening of a big session generally is just consolidation. Now, right now, we're getting a slow grind up on the chart. But as you guys know who are loyal followers, you will know it's true. A lot of times it is just kind of like slow-paced movement. But occasionally, we'll get some really nice moves as well. So we'll chat about that. Also, that also means that, for me, when I say I'm going to go through the NQ and the GC chart review, I talk about these 2 tickers because these are the ones I specifically trade. Now, on the stream, I haven't traded gold much, to be honest, because during the pre-London session, it's just not great. Like, honestly, it's not great at all. Generally, gold, I like trading during like the Globex Open area or even Asia, right? Like off the first couple hours of Tokyo Open. Or maybe an hour after London. But yeah, pre-London, gold's kind of eh. I like NQ a little bit more when it comes to that. But as I go through the chart review, guys, I want you guys to keep in mind one thing, right? And I say this every stream. Even if you don't trade the conversations of pieces that we talk about during my stream, it doesn't mean they're not relevant. Many times, the things that I talk about will play out later on in other periods and sessions, or maybe even days later. And when I go through the chart review today, I'll talk about obviously what I'm looking for from the chart, how we could have traded it, what are we thinking about, right? And even in that right now, I can say that there are some key spots we've been talking about since last week have continued to be a respecting point to us today. So anyways, with that, I'm going to jump straight into the chart review here with you guys. And I am moving a little bit slower, by the way, because I don't know if it's my TV that I'm using right now for this travel setup or what it is, but I feel like my mouse is very laggy. Like it's not moving at the pace that I'm used to doing it. So bear with me if I'm a little slow with the cursor here. All right, so let's see, weekly chart. As I always go through the weekly, let's take a look at how the chart's looking right now. So as you guys can see, we have opened up as an inside bar. Inside bars generally are kind of indications. And again, it's still too early, right? It's too early on this weekly bar to make any kind of comment. But we are opening on the inside bar. So generally for me, I'm looking like we're a range. And when we look at inside bars, we're thinking to ourselves, are we going to break the range high or range low? We don't know, right? And so that's obviously what we're going to anticipate. Until then, I'm happily able to trade the range. And I will keep my expectation as such, depending on where we are on the given part of the chart. Now, if I go to the daily time frame, oops, this is what I'm talking about, man. Come on. On the daily chart, you can see here, obviously, it's an inside bar still based on Friday's bar. However, you can see here where we rejected makes a lot of sense, right? We had a big area of resistance in that area. So I think that if price leads back up there, I think we have an opportunity to move lower, especially since, again, we are in a daily inside bar at the moment, as well as a weekly inside bar. On the hourly time frame, this is what I was talking about when I was mentioning the fact that we are just kind of slow grind up. We had a nice hourly tap of that key 520 area. So if you guys remember, I've been talking about that spot all week long, 28,520, right? I've been talking about that. As the same way, I've been talking about the 28,709 area. So these areas have been just key reaction areas for us on the chart. And of course, I'll update my chart every day, every week, depending on obviously where the market is. But some of these areas I keep on because they just proven to be respected, and we see that today as well. We had a nice hourly failure to go lower tap, and then since then, although yeah, we've been consolidating, we've been kind of just ranging our way back up. I think anyone who is like a scalper in the chat, I think there was scalping galore, to be honest. I mean, I wasn't at the chart, but if I was, I could imagine like just all the different opportunities to have scalp chart if you wanted to. And then, so I'm just going to go to the smaller time frame now so we can kind of talk about game plan and all that. Yeah, so you can kind of see here on the given chart, we've just been ranging so far, right? And I actually kind of called this out to some of my students here as well, that I was looking for the top of range and the bottom range here, and we literally to the T respected that over the course of today. So I think the biggest moves that we were offered basically were leading up into the Tokyo Open. So the Tokyo Open offered a nice rejection off the 731 level, giving us the close beneath the 709 and 700, both areas that were very important to us to keep an eye on. And then when we made our move down, pretty much an hour and a half after the Tokyo Open, we had a nice hold of the 28,540 area, and we kind of tapped the 520 as well. What I really like about this, and for those who have been like loyal followers of the stream, you guys know I reference this a lot. I like the 200 EMA on the 2-minute time frame. I find that to be very helpful. And now for those who are kind of watching for the first time, I will never subscribe to the thought process of, to have one little thing and like, just take your trade off of it. And what I mean by that is that I'm not saying that every single time it touches the 200 EMA, I'm going to take the trade. I'm not saying that, right? But I like it when there's confluence, right? So what I see here in the chart is that we pulled back down. We didn't actually even set a new low, but we tagged the 540, where we closed above the 540. We tagged basically the 520, and we also held above the 200 EMA. And that acted as a really nice potential signal for long. So if anyone caught that long, that was very textbook in a lot of ways that I look at things here. So I want to kind of just share that process. But yeah, I mean, even so, as I talk about the 709, for all those guys who are newer watching, let me just show you what I mean by how often that has been respected. Take a look at the pre-London session that we were talking about, or the London session on Thursday going into Friday. You can see here that we respected the 28,700 and the 28,709. We respected it there, right? And then if you take a look at it, sorry, this mouse is killing me here. If you could take a look at it here as well, we also respected it during Thursday's New York session, right? 709 again, right? And we also, when you take a look at the bottom here, we'll go into the other session here. Actually, sorry. You can see here over the price on this day all the way here. Take a look. This was Sunday and Monday's Globex. So this is Monday. Look what we did. We opened up, we consolidated, we held above the 709, and then we launched. And then if you look at Sunday's Globex open from last week, we did the exact same thing, right? We pushed down, we tagged it, and we pushed up again. So for me, that price point has been a very important area for us. So that's the reason why I've been so kind of hyper-focused, so to speak, on this area, because it has been respected quite well for us. Come on, this mouse is killing me. Or not this mouse, sorry, the screen here. So coming into the day for our open, I'm kind of looking for the same thing, essentially. So in the same way that I was looking for that to be a bounce spot before, I'm going to look for that to be a resistance spot today. So as we gear up here, I naturally would believe that NQ is likely going to grind up towards the 700 to 709, 731 area. Is kind of what I'm anticipating. But I don't want to long that right now, right? Because I do feel like if I take this trade right now, I'm just utterly chasing at this point. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for me to take it. Now, if maybe, and I don't think it's going to happen with the way that price is moving right now, if maybe we come back down and test the 664-ish area, like somewhere in this area here, I'll just mark it out here. Like that. Maybe we'll get a bounce there. I don't know. I mean, I think we're a little far gone now, right? And that's just me looking for like a higher low entry. But what I'm more anticipating for right now is I'm looking for us to short as we make our way up there. But we'll have to see what price does as we are leading our way up to that point. So anyways, that's kind of my 2 cents on the NQ. And then I will now move on to gold, and then I'll check the chat again with you guys. And again, for those who are kind of hopping in just now, definitely drop a thumbs up and subscribe. It really does help me out a lot, guys. And I want to give a giveaway to you guys too. Looking to give away a 50K account to the gang today. So definitely worth your while, guys. Let's take a look at gold. Earlier, I made the comment when we were just chatting. I know someone mentioned that they were trying to look for longs for gold at 40.92. I mentioned that we were consolidating and we were holding that area, although not really the most textbook long trade for me personally, just because we have been so bearish up to this point. Now, I know some of you guys use order flow and what have you, so maybe you're seeing something that I'm not seeing, but longing-wise for me for gold right now just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Let's take a look at larger time frames on gold. So we've gapped up on gold, right? Especially after the bullish action that we saw last week. But we did end up having quite a bit of a sell-off back down. Now, I do think gold is likely going to close this gap. I don't think we're just going to keep going up here. And I will, like I always say, I don't like to speculate price too much, but I do think it makes sense for us to do so. So we'll see. We'll see if we get that. I mean, we did kind of like tap close to the highs of last week or Friday, but I do think that the possibility of it coming down lower and coming down to at least take the level maybe is very probable and within the wheelhouse for us for tonight. On the hourly, we've just been kind of on a sell-off too. Like we haven't had any bullish sense for me, so I'm not really interested when I look at this kind of setup. Like especially if this hourly candle closes bearish for us, then I'm really probably going to be more interested in shorts than anything else at this stage. And then going into the smaller time frames here. Yeah, let's see what we do here. I mean, I think right now what we should pay attention to on gold is that we are close to the lower range here. So like I'll just draw this little box here just so that we can reference it for later on. Where's my box? Come on. Screen's killing me here, man. So this is kind of like the low right now. I'm going to change the color just so that it doesn't get like mixed up with my like proper channels. Let's go black. There you go. So we have that kind of lower range here. I mean, I think that if we can break and close beneath the lower range, I think it's definitely a probable possibility for a short trade. I mean, even right now, right, we're kind of seeing that like break and retest almost. Like not the most ideal break and retest, but we do look like we're trying to move lower right now as we hold beneath the level of 40.92. Again, this is even though it looks like we're trying to hold. I don't feel great about this trade, just because we are so close to the bottom of the range. So I just like, unless you're kind of looking at scalp gold right now, then maybe. But like to hold till we get to 778, I don't feel comfortable necessarily taking that right now. So that's kind of my 2 cents on that so far. I'm just gonna catch up on the chat, just to see if I missed anything here. Lucid has a daily payout plan. Nice. Does it? I haven't looked at anything. If they get it shot an update today, then I haven't seen it. Or this weekend, sorry. Where does the 675 target come from? Oh yeah, that's an old message. How did you get the yellow line at 2870, 700? That's the Globex. If you've been following my streams, you'll know the value of the Globex opening print for me. That was the Globex opening print from last week. Rejection at 690, 690. Where's 690 at? Yeah, you get pretty close, I mean, I think at this point in time, there's just so many spots above us, right? But I wouldn't look to short right now. I'd wait until we get up higher. Money bag, killer, man. NDT, sell gold till December. Alexia, what up, man? What's up, Jess? What time frames do I go off for higher low or lower high entry? It really depends on the chart at the time, actually, right? Generally, I would like to use at least like a 5-minute time frame or something. But depending on the setup, I'm open to 2-minute as well. It really does depend on how the chart is like forming. That would decide what time frame I would take those entries off of. US, what's up? What's going on, Adam? Oh, they just dropped it a couple hours ago. Oh, sick. I'll check it out later. I mean, I can't trade them, but like I'll check it out later just so that I can be in the know. What's going on, Legacy? Ida 5 he. What's up, man? I was gonna read your name as Itachi at first, but I'm like, oh, I don't know if what that 5 is supposed to be. Maybe Itachi? Itachi? What advice would you give a brand new futures trader to master technical analysis? Ooh, that's a bold question, and I say this because there's so much to technical analysis, and it can be so subjective too. I think there are a lot of great books out there that you can learn about technical analysis. For me, I mean, I think one of the more generic books out there, I can't remember who the author is anymore, but it's like technical analysis for the financial markets. I think there was one like that. But I mean, all in all, I'm a big advocate for Al Brooks. Al Brooks has books called Bar by Bar. You can read their OG one, which I honestly can't get through, so I like the newer ones. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, as I posted on there as well. But the modern book breaks it down to 3 things: trend, range, and reversals. So I would recommend that book, yeah, because I'm a big bar by bar fanatic. So that would be something I would recommend for you, Fidel Herrera. Moneybag, always appreciate you, man. Much love, man. Thanks, Edmund. I appreciate you. Thanks for always tuning in, man. Much love. What we think on NQ. I literally just did my chart review. So if you missed the chart review, Legacy Lab, you can kind of rewind it a little bit. Thank you, Dragon Trades Futures, man. It's good, man. Just all weekend's been just crazy family time here in Edmonton. Attended a wedding here, celebrating obviously that, and obviously breaking the news to the family for the first time, letting them know here that we're moving here. So they're super ecstatic and super excited for that. So trend range trend. TRT trend range trend. Cool. I don't know if Davis Strays, that was like a statement. That's cool, man. That's cool. All right. What do we have for thumbs up, guys? Let's check a look. 149. There's almost about 400 you guys on here. I think we can get 400 thumbs up, right, guys? Doesn't cost you guys anything, but it helps me out a lot here. And at the same time, it gets a giveaway out to you guys, right? So let's rack up some thumbs up, guys. Anyone else still in longs right now on NQ? I know someone here is in on shorts from 725, but anyone in longs right now? This gold thing that I'm talking about, this is what I'm talking about, right? So you see how we're doing that? That's exactly what I mentioned earlier about the range, right? We came down, we looked like we just barely tapped it, and we're moving back up. This is exactly why I said I wasn't comfortable shorting gold just yet. And by the way, tonight, as far as accounts go, you'll see it on the bottom left-hand corner. I will be on this specific side of the chart. I will be trading my StoneX account, which is basically the 10-4 prop firm that I've been talking about. Going to be taking trades on this account here. And then on the other side, which is the FF indicator side, so this one over here, I will be trading my take profit trader accounts. So those are the 2 props that I will be trading tonight. Just educating, because I know a lot of you guys who may be new and don't know what I'm referring to. I'm going to see actually if I can do something here. I'm going to just put it in the chat here. Can I do this from last time? Give me a second here. Just realized I just closed my Discord. All right, let's see if we can find it. I'm going to just attach something to the bottom here so that you guys have it. Okay, there's that. Let's see if this works. That's me, by the way. I'm using Rake's YouTube to do that. There you go. I just pinned that to the bottom there, just so that you guys can see it. So yeah, right now, just so that you guys know, looking for, if you guys are looking to do 10-4, code RAKE will give you 50% off the first 2 accounts and then 30% off afterwards. New prop firm, but it's been amazing. I've been sharing the journey. If you watch my last stream, you would have seen me take a nice trade and a nice win off that account. And then I also took the payout live on stream with you guys. So you guys saw how fast the payout process works and how intuitive the dashboard is as well. And then on the other end, I'm using Take Profit Trader because, as you guys know, TPT is like my baby. I like trading with them. I like the daily payouts. Yeah, I do occasionally have to blow those accounts as well, just because obviously for me, I take my payouts. I don't leave a buffer. So generally, I can't build up the account enough for me to survive, multiple losses, so to speak, in a row. So occasionally that will happen as well. So, but yeah, those are kind of the 2 accounts, the 2 prop firms I'm kind of trading with. But I did put the link. I pinned the link for 10-4 there just because I know that's a newer prop, so most people don't know who they are. It's harder to find, so I'm just pinning it there for you guys to use it. But yeah, code RAKE, man. Don't forget to use code RAKE. These are the little things. It doesn't cost you guys anything, but it helps me out a lot. Let's see. Long at 666 for Lloyd Chua. Start a long at the top. What's a good TP? Your long nominums. Nice. 7-2 Asia highs. Freaky, you go long right now, I think. Yeah, I didn't want to chase any longs. Like I said, you can probably get a TP hit, but I don't like where we were at that point. It was a little too late for me to look for that. Let's see, long cold right now. Did you tell your online family before your Edmonton family what to move? Yeah, man, Almond, I didn't. Yeah, my Edmonton family had no idea I was moving. I was talking about it on stream and no one even knew about it. Long gold. You guys are in longs. Okay. Nom is all out. Nice, nice. That 700 area was a really nice spot to take profit. One change day. I haven't had any fills issues, but I will say the TradingView interface can be very glitchy on the values sometimes. But congrats, man. Shout out to One Change a Day in the chat for getting their first 10-4 payout, man. That's sick. Vintage base. Savage. Nice work, man. Vernati, no, usually the music should be heard through the YouTube stream. It actually has nothing to do with the speakers and all that. So it's weird it's not working. But you know what? I honestly, if you guys can hear my voice, that is the most important part. I don't want to mess with the volume right now. Ryga was in long, just exited. Nice. Target's 28,774. My man staying trading is definitely shooting for a higher. It's not to say that's not possible. We obviously bear the risk of the high of range. Best of luck, my man. Short that yellow line. Yeah, we had a nice little pullback, but it doesn't mean we're gonna. I don't want us to get too caught up in the smaller time frames, right? That doesn't mean we're gonna short right away. I think we, like I said, 700 to 731 is kind of where I'm watching, right? If you did though put that scalp limit order that I talked about. So for those who are kind of newer hopping on this, I've been talking about scalp trades, right? And that last week or so was the first time I ever did that. And I think we have like a 95% win rate on doing that from last week, if I remember correctly. If you entered in that limit order, that would have been nice because you would have gotten a nice solid 10 to 14 point scalp trade off that 700 area, right? So not sure if anyone ended up doing that because I did mention that you could scalp it. So curious if anyone did take that. Rye guy, do it, man. Baby steps, man. One step at a time, baby. You got it. What's going on, base trades? Yeah, I mean, Rye guy. I mean, I think it depends on kind of like the market structure to decide if it's good for scalping or good for holding. But yeah, man, if you scalped it, nice, man. Yeah, I know exactly base trades. That's the reason why I don't want to trust my audio too much. TPT's payouts are fast. They automated now, so it's actually pretty quick. Vaughn, I'm sorry to hear, man. Part of the game, though. Part of the game. Don't let those losses impact how you take your next trade, man. You can hear music from my mic? That's really weird. Hold on. Let me just. I'm not going to adjust my thing, but maybe there could be music in the background too much here. I'll just at least mute that a little bit. Randy Coic, do I have same size when I'm in eval versus funded? No, no. I'm more aggressive when I trade eval. I'm more aggressive. But again, it's where I am at in my trading though, right? Like I know I can afford to do that. So I think that if you're learning, that's very dangerous. If you haven't really figured out your edge yet, it's best to just size the same as you do your eval and funded, because you still haven't yet developed your edge in trading yet, right? It's when you know what you've got, then you can be a little bit more bold in that regard, right? But yeah. Nice, nice. I see some individuals got some nice short trades on the chat based off that 700 air we talked about. You're stuck in the eval jail. Honestly, I mean, we label it as being stuck in the eval jail, but really all it means is that you haven't figured out what your edges in trading, right? So there's no singular advice other than you just got to make sure you respect the craft, right? I find that when I have one-on-ones with a lot of students, many people are honestly, and I'm not saying that you are or everyone here is, but I find that a lot of people have a very gambling mindset, which is honestly the reason why they struggle so much, and the emotions get the best of them, right? So anybody who managed to catch the short off that 700 area, nice work. I'm seeing those kind of comments come through the chat still. Yeah, I mean, I'm still kind of engaging in the chat and chatting with you guys, so I'm not really like taking any trades just yet, but I'll get to it, guys. Like I know, oh yeah, some of the newer guys who are here, you might be waiting for me to pull triggers. Sometimes if I'm just like reading the chat and talking to you guys, I can't take trades, right? So it's hard for me to kind of balance the both. Now, sometimes obviously if I have that gap in between, I will enter a trade and I'll just keep talking. But just for those who are newer, who are not familiar with me and trading and all that stuff, yeah, sometimes if you're literally waiting for me to pull the trigger, you might be waiting for a little while sometimes, right? So don't wait for that. If you see the idea of here is, guys, and I know a lot of people come here, they just want to get signal trades. I will provide you, like I'm what I'm hoping for you guys is that you guys learn how to fish, not wait for me to give you the fish. And I think many of you guys have been able to take advantage of that over the course of time here. So yeah, I mean, a lot of times I'll make these comments and you can see these trades do play out as I do the chart review. You respect the plan. If they do play out well. Not always, right? Obviously, because nothing is over 100% win rate, but you got to make sure that the way I look at it is that you have your thesis of trading. You can back it up with what I'm doing and say, hey, you know what? I was going to do this. Alan just said, hey, on my chart review, this is what I'm seeing. Great. Then if it works both ways, fantastic, right? If it gives you the confirmation and the confidence, do that, right? Yeah, 10-4. There's no intraday trailing drawdown for the 10-4 prop firm. Everything is end of day, and they have a pretty solid drawdown volume for their 50Ks because it's like $2,500 drawdown, which is pretty solid. Yeah, I just turned off the music because if it's I don't want it to be like confusing for you guys. I'm working through my chat here, guys, so if I'm a little late. I'm in the living room, Vernati, so can't really do much about that one. Yeah, nominums. I don't blame you for waiting for that 732 or 731 area. Jane Bond, that's last week's Globex opening print. All right, 10-4, back, being able to find twice from 60 left chains. Man, Alexia, 100%, man. I appreciate the transparency, man. It's a tough road, guys. Right? I just remember, don't let the baggage of your losses impact your future trades, man. I know, easier said than done, but it's a must, right? 10-4 uses StoneX, as I was mentioning earlier. That's the platform that they use. That's the platform that I'm on right now as well. All right. Let's go put some things in the comment box here. I'll just leave it there just because I know as people are kind of rolling into the stream, they may not see the chart review. So kind of what I'm looking at right now. Yeah, man, 100%, man. Stick with what works for you, man. I mean, obviously I'm not trying to push anyone in one direction with a prop, right? I'm just saying that for this specific prop, they use 10-4. They use Stone X, so it's the only option they have right now. So learner doctor, it's a prop firm. It's just another prop firm, one of the newer prop firms that just came out recently. Alexia, 100%. You know what I find a lot of times too when it comes to trading is that like a lot of people who get wins fast, sometimes that could be a detriment too, because whatever is getting you that win fast could also be the double-edged sword that's also killing you fast. So just be very cognizant that like, and that's why when a lot of people ask me questions like, when you trade your funded or your eval, do you trade it the same? Do you trade it differently? Strategy shouldn't change, guys. Strategy shouldn't change. Like you shouldn't be YOLOing evals and then not and then playing it super safe on the funded, right? Like I think that the strategy shouldn't change. I say your expectation changes, right? Because you might size higher maybe in the eval phase, but your strategy shouldn't, right? You're funded, to be honest, is just a matter of difference in size. Like your strategy should not change at all. So like a lot of times, even for me, right? Like if I'm trading the eval, for example, I might like for a 50K count, for example, right? I might rock 3 to 5 minis. Sure, on an eval, you might that might seem like crazy, but if it's an eval, I'm comfortable doing that. Now on the funded though, I'll probably only do 1 to 2 minis, right? At tops. And that's because again, strategy doesn't change, but sizing will, and that's expectation, right? So Cabron, I did my chart review earlier on already. So if you want to, you can kind of scroll back there. But as of right now, I'm looking to see key areas to watch the short. But if we can break the range, then I'm interested in the longs. I'd be very careful though, right? We get a lot of fake outs. So even if we get a move above 731, that doesn't necessarily mean gung ho, let's go longs right away. That could easily just be a fake out for a move lower, right? So what is the white line? The white line is just an area of interest for me, Cabron. If you're a beginner, I find that the 25K accounts have the best drawdown to profit ratios. So it just means it's not, I don't want to say easier, but it's going to give you the closest thing to getting passed on an eval, especially if you're trading small size. But generally, like once you get a grip of what you're doing, the 50K accounts and the 150K accounts are my two go-to accounts that I normally will do. Difference between Lucid and 10-4 is the max loss. I think every prop firm has a little bit different. So I guess the question has to come down to what specific are you referring to? If you're looking at the rules, right? Because you have to go apples to apples, right? I think you'd be comparing to like a Lucid Flex plan or a 10-4 Origin plan. So yeah, they both have no daily loss limits. They both have no activation fees, no consistency rules. And really the only difference is the fact that it has a bigger drawdown with 10-4, right? That's pretty much it. Now 10-4 is newer. So, generally speaking, any prop firm, just like any business, is going to be a little more aggressive off the gate to get market share, right? To get people to be aware. Whereas like the OGs like Lucid, Tradeify, the tried and true, who have a strong reputation in the space, they don't need to do that, right? Because they already know that they have a really strong market out there. And so my thought process always is that it's always risky, obviously, to try new prop firms out because you don't know if they're going to be around. And so a lot of times with the students that I work with, I always tell them like, you know what? Don't worry, I'll take the risk for you. So if it works, like if I go through the process and I can get paid out and I like the process, then I tell my students, hey, look, this is how my experience has been. So up to you to decide if you want to use them, because I obviously can't advocate or push them in their direction, right? I'm not personally an affiliate with any of the prop firms, but I do obviously tell everyone about code RAKE and code RT, which is above me here, because that's obviously Project 365 here, right? So yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I don't think 10-4 will keep their drawdowns and stuff like that forever. I mean, maybe they will. I don't know. Obviously, I'm not the prop promoter, right? But my guess is that they're probably going to be more aggressive as they build their market share, and they'll probably end up matching everyone else. That's my guess. But if they don't, I mean, good for them if they can find a sustainable model to continue doing that, right? But that's my perspective, both on a trading front, but also from a business front. As you guys know, I'm a business consultant by trade here, so. Just catch up with the chat here. So far, I've got 3 10-4 accounts and using your code RAKE. I like the 24 drawdown. It helped me easier, and I got my first payout by tomorrow. John Nguyen, are you wait, sorry, is that you saying that you have already taken your trade and it's literally pending for you to click the payout, or what do you mean? What do you mean by that? Either way, man, sounds like you're making some good progress, John. That's awesome, dude. There's an opening week gap, so I'm highly interested in shorts as well. Philanthropist, yes. 25K is best. Review on trader instant funding. I like instant funded accounts. I mean, again, I think Angela, for yourself, it comes down to cost analysis, right? Like, can you afford to buy an instant funded account? I think they're great because obviously it skips the noise and you can get straight to the payout phase. Generally, the rules are a little tighter, right? And they cost a little bit more, but they're great. Now, with that said, not everyone might be in the same boat. So if you're like in a position where like you don't have, I don't want to say money to burn, but you don't have expendable cash, then I wouldn't go the instant funded just because it's like the price of an instant funded, you can buy like 4 to 5 evals, right? So in theory, if you've got an edge in trading, you can literally pass 5 accounts and get 5 active accounts versus 1 instant account, right? So give and take, man. Just reading the chat. Does TradeVate have the forecast tool? I don't know. Maybe someone in the chat might want to answer that question. I don't ever trade right off TradeVate. I always use TradingView. So I'm not too sure. I can't answer that question, actually. So it looks like we're still holding the 700 area. Retail futures trader, what up? Yeah, man, I hear you, dude. I hear you. You know, sometimes what I like to do as well is like whenever I try like a new prop firm, and this is what I did when I started with 10-4. I bought a daily account, an origin account, and an instant account. And what did I do? I got my payout actually my daily account first, actually, surprisingly. But yeah, I get all three because I want to see how the process works for all of them, right? Again, I'm in a different financial position, so an instant funded account doesn't phase me as much as someone else would. But in most cases, like it's tough, right? I actually know traders that only trade instant funded accounts, right? So again, it's a matter of preference. I think the masses will probably go the eval phase because it's just more cost efficient. And if you're still learning, do you really want to be learning on an instant funded account? I don't know, because they're so expensive, right? If you blow them, let's just say it's an expensive lesson to learn. Oh, there you go. Jason General Lau answered the question about does Tradeovate have a forecast tool? He said no. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, but you know what? Like, I think Jake said this before too, right? Like, you know, trading is already such a very hard craft. Like, why make it harder, right? So, it's give and take, man. It's give and take. What is Price trying to do here? Instant funded will get you to faster payouts. Well, obviously, yes, that's the case, but you're risking, right? It's all about risk in the end of the day. So you can say you can get their faster payout, but you can also go broke faster because if you can't afford to buy new accounts when you blow them, then you're kind of in the hole, right? So Bruce Wayne, are the levels on your chart valid until tomorrow? Yeah, I mean, I would say so. I mean, I think whatever I have marked here is what I'll be looking for going in until basically New York close, right? And then when New York closes, I'll rehash the chart again. What's going on, Super Broadcast? Yeah, hourly's been bullish. Yep. Do you think you starting trading at lab cap help you reach consistency quicker because the lessons that hit harder opposed to some money trading without? Buggy, it's hard to say. It's a very valid question, but it's really hard to say because I'll never know, right? I'll never know what it would have been had I started with prop firms first. But absolutely, I mean, I'd been trading for 4 years before I even touched a prop account, right? So, yeah. McCall, no, I'm not waiting for London session. I did the chart review already, so I'm just engaging with the chat. And I'm looking for something a little bit more precise. I'm not looking to take anything right now. I think we still have a little bit more momentum move here up, potentially before we look for a short. So it's the old Globex opening print, yeah. Would I attempt a 2-minute double top? No. It's possible. Like I do have reasons. Like I have a couple of check boxes on my playbook that's checked off, but honestly, super broadcast, because of where I see the highs, I would like to see us tag 731 before I make a decision on what I want to do. I think it's very plausible. We just had a pretty bullish hourly close too, right? So I think the ideal situation is for us to tag 731 and maybe see if we can catch a trade from there and then decide, you know? Yeah, Simplify. Someone said that they have daily payout accounts now. That's what it seems. Having some reaction at that 709 as usual. Sup, Zay? Like if we were to do a scalp trade, like I'd probably do it on my TPT account. Like if we were to do a scalp trade, for example, I'd go up here. Where's the forecasting box? Man, I'm struggling with this mouse and screen right now. I'd be open to something like that. So what is it? Risk like 10 points. Shoot for like 10 points. Like I'd be open to this for a scalp trade. So I'll leave that there for now. That's for take profit trader. For this one, we'll wait. Adam, you're hilarious, dude. Simplify. Good for you, man. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. It is weird though, Simplify. That again, I don't know if it's because new prop firms are just or the prop firms are just a little bit different now with like new traders. But I'm shocked that sometimes how fast you get moved live, because if you're not even able to get to the 5 payout phase or whatever, I'm surprised you get moved live so quickly. Yeah, for Simplify, I forget where you live. Like, is there a reason why you don't want to trade live? I mean, if you have the ability, why not, right? Oh, damn, is that how the world rules work for them? That's really interesting. All right, look at that, guys. Who took advantage of this? We talked about this earlier, right? The range. Beautifully bounced right off that structured point that I talked about earlier. So anyone who caught longs on gold, so far we've had a 10-point move on gold already. Anyone get that? That channel was drawn from earlier, guys. Curious if we've got the buying strength to keep going. 731 is definitely within our line of sight, guys. Nice, Blambo. Nice. Alex, brother. Oh, man, that sucks, dude. Not sure if you use the app base or the desktop base, but I've never had any issues with TradingView. TradingView has always been pretty good for me. Still holding the 709. Let's see how our 5-minute bar closes here. If a 5-minute bar closes beneath the 700 area again, I might be interested in taking a small position, but I'm going to give it a bit. Still much prefer the patience of 731, but we'll see. Ha, Blambo. Much appreciated, dude. Yeah, 5 minutes still, we're still pretty strong right now for sure. Holding that 700 area now as that kind of like a resistance flip support hold. So we probably will get a nice move up here. This is where if you're looking for like a 1 hour scalp based on like where we are on the chart, I mean, not completely out of the question to be honest. What would that look like? So this is not the most ideal for me still, like personally. And I say that only because like where we are on the chart. This would be still quite a bit of a chasing trade, but I can see why someone would want to take this. Kind of like a risk 600 for 600. The move's happening already here. If you guys remember, I do have a scalp short trade up here that we're looking to fill on my take profit trader. As you can see here. Broadcast, you can because they're two different orders, right? Like one's on 10-4, and then the other one is on take profit trader, right? So they're two different props. The fact that one's trade of 8 and one's stone X is the reason why I'm able to do this. Curious if I want to scalp a 2-minute pullback up. Is it ballsy for me to do that? So my limit order earlier has not been filled yet, by the way, because my target is 7 right here, 730.75. So I want to see, it's a little risky for me to do this, guys. I don't even know if we're even going to come down here, but I put a limit order here just to see if we can, I don't want to call it scalp, but it kind of is, right? See if we can take a move up there. Let's see what we do here on this 5-minute candle. This is not a usual type of setup that would take either, so. Now, obviously, if price right now tags that 30 area, then I'm just not going to even bother at that point. I would definitely exit at that point. Blambo, man. Right on, dude. I love it. I love it. Okay, getting a little bit of pullback here. We got about 237 thumbs up right now, guys. We're about 150 some away from being able to get to 400. So I can do that giveaway for you guys. London market's about to open about 47 minutes as well here. Am I gonna get a fill here, maybe? Tap me in. All right, looks like we're in. Let's see if I'm gonna regret this. Let's see if I'm gonna regret this. Because obviously, whenever you see 2-minute failures like that, you don't feel great about it. This 5-minute candle is likely going to close bearish as well, but I do want to see us tag the 731 level at the very least before we move lower. So I'm hoping here we get a bit of a bigger move. Well, a few seconds left of this 5-minute candle. So 5-minute candle closed bearish, but I'd like to see the hold here, guys. I would like to see the hold here still. Let's see if we can get a push up. Ash tree, the ratio really depends on the sessions that I'm trading. Again, when we're during the pre-London session, I'm not expecting a great deal of fall through, and you always everything's kind of dealt for me based on session expectation as well as the where we are in structure that decides how I risk. Those who have been kind of following my journey for long enough, you guys know that I've gotten trades that are like 200, 300 points before too. And obviously I'm not risking 200, 300 points for those trades. So it really kind of just depends on the chart, man. Depends on the chart. Sometimes also as I'm like kind of looking at this chart, it also makes me wonder, like, do I want to shoot for 600? Do I want to lower it a little bit and not be a prick for a tick? Those kind of thoughts do run through my mind as well. In a long, freedom and fun. Yes, I am. I am in a long right now. Let's see. So yeah, anyways, I'm just sharing those thought points right now, right? Because yeah, part of me is kind of thinking like, yeah, do I lower it? Because technically the high that we just had was here. What was it? 28. So it's kind of like right now, I'm 0.75 above where the high was. So the thoughts do run through my mind sometimes, like, Alan, do you really want to be a prick for a tick? You could probably lower that and say, shoot for $500, instead of 600. And I'm only referring to the dollar just for the reference of this conversation. I'm not saying that I personally shoot for P&L targets. I don't. But just for the reference of this conversation, a part of me asks that question, right? Like, should I? Should I move it a little lower to see if I'm being a prick for a tick? Because if I do, and I'm not saying I am, I'm just doing this for demonstration, right? Like if I did, say move it down to here, that's $80 less, right? But at the very least, it's below that wick. So when I'm in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, probability wise, I'm probably gonna have a higher probability, hitting that spot than not, right? So I'm gonna leave my position as is, but I'm just providing you some narrative, like some thought points that are in my mind. Vernati, that's the thing that I'm talking about. So for me, I don't usually have fill issues with StoneX, but I will say that the values that are kind of showing, sometimes it kind of glitches. So I've seen those issues happen before, which is essentially what we're seeing right now too, right? So it happens. I'm just assessing the chart right now to decide how I want to go about this right now. I'm going to leave it. Yeah. You guys will know if I'm wrong, if I should later on, if you see that, oh man, Alan, you should have done what you said you were going to think about doing and moving it down by a few ticks just in case. You guys might see that later on, but yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. I'm accepting the risk of this trade. A little bit can be viewed as a little bit of a chasing trade for sure. But we're kind of in between some key areas, and I'm hoping that these key areas that I was looking for as resistance is going to act as like a support beam for me. So if I hit my TP, great, then I lock in profit on this account, and then that also should get me closer to filling my short scalp trade that I have on my take profit trader account as well right now, right? So if you guys remember, I have a short scalp trade waiting to fill up at 730.75. Right, so we shall see. Worst month trading. Jeff, sorry to hear, man. Yeah, man, we all have our, just like trades, right? We all have our drawdown days, drawdown weeks, drawdown months, right? I mean, how we manage our drawdown does tell us a lot about who we are as traders. It's part of the game though, right? It is part of the game. With that close of the 5, I'd like to believe I should be able to get TP now. Let's see if we can get the push. Yeah, I agree, Zach. It's not the best, but I'm hoping it's enough to give us the leg up. We still got about 40 minutes left until the London market opens here, guys. I can see why we wicked there as well. I'm like looking at the larger time rooms as well. Just for those who are kind of looking at the chart as well, the height of that wick there was basically the hourly pivot spot, making that spot make sense to me that we wicked that spot earlier and had that failure pull back. What was your trigger to enter the trade? There wasn't really a rejection of the pullback. You just entered when price retraced. Yeah, game update. I mean, like I said earlier, this is not the most ideal setup that I would normally take either. But I was looking to see if what was considered as a big wall of resistance before could act as like a support for me. And I was, because again, for me, I was looking for us to tag the 31 level before we make the move down. But as I was kind of viewing out and zooming out to the larger picture, I'm like, oh, I can see why it wicked here actually, because this wick here on that 2-minute candle that I'm highlighting over, that was where our hourly pivot took place. So I was like, okay, that rejection makes sense. So if it ends up being that's the high and that we don't tag the 731 level, then that's unfortunate for me, right? Because my thesis is that I would like to see us tag there before we get a short down. So, but let's see, man. Let's see. Someone said that gold is looking short right now. What is gold doing? Yeah, we're rejecting the 40.97. So we got the Globex opening print there. So again, similar to these points that we've been talked about before, a rejection there isn't like completely out of the question. I mean, that kind of makes sense to me. Looks like I might get stopped out here, guys. Let's see what it does here. I'm hoping that we hold the 700, but if it doesn't, it's all good. You got to respect the stop loss. A lot of people will try to move their stop losses around. I don't. For me, I look at it as the stop losses to prove that my trade thesis was not valid. And if it was not valid, then so be it. So I got stopped out on that trade, guys. That pullback. So I think that right now that hourly spot that I talked about is definitely setting up the rejection for us. Now, I don't know if this is going to keep going down. We'll have to kind of monitor and see what we do here. Because again, this is still a pretty strong support area, right? So that might be a wick, like a wick me out before it keeps going kind of a move. Oleb. Thanks, man. I appreciate you, dude. Let's see what it does here, guys. Gold still holding right now. Gold did come out of an hourly buy candle earlier as well, so this might just be the higher low off the 200 EMA to shoot higher here. I know we have VWAP above as well, though, so that's obviously risky. Shawnee's. I've already done a chart review on the NQ. So if you're curious about that, you can kind of rewind back to the 10:20 Pacific Standard Time spot. To be Frankie, not sure when you hopped onto the stream, but I did explain why I was looking for that trade. So no problem, Shawnee's. I honestly wouldn't feel good shorting still, man. I know this is like looking bearish, but I really don't think it's safe to short until we tag that spot up there because I feel like we still have the chance to move up there first. What's up, Jarito? Good, man. Good. Trade with TradingView is good or trade of I only trade on TradingView, so. Yeah, it's interesting. It is interesting, Zach. If we take a look at it as well right now on the F indicator, we do have the 2-minute trigger line coming up here at around 690. So let's see if we get a bounce there. Sam, I don't know, man. Post that on Instagram if I do. Buggy, my go-to trade time for Asia would be basically any time between Globex's opening up until about 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. What's going on, Didi? $287. Let's see if we can get that 400 thumbs up, guys. Love to get that 50K account out to you guys before the stream ends here. What's the checklist on your other NQ chart? The checklist. What do you mean by that, Mayhem? Game update. I don't trade the New York session that much anymore. I do occasionally with students, but I don't personally trade it myself anymore. I mean, other than Lucid, what prop firms do you recommend? Lucid, Tradeify, Take Profit Trader. Those are kind of like my go-to. My fund of futures is pretty solid too, but I mean it's been so long since I've traded with those guys. But yeah, those would be kind of ones that I would recommend. Other than obviously the 10-4 one that I've already tagged to the chat here. I'm really curious if we're that tap of me getting tap out is going to be like that fake out move before it continues higher. Part of me is also wondering if I'm being a little too overly obsessed about that 731, but I think like in the next 30 minutes, it's still very possible for us to go up, tag 731, and then come back down before the London market opens. Like I can still see that happening actually. That's why part of me wants to like take that still, but we'll have to gauge this, guys. We'll have to gauge this. Let's see. I don't trade New York as much anymore because that's honestly business and family time for me, man. The box in the bottom right corner of your TPT chart. Oh, that's the cloud. That's the forecaster cloud. So that kind of basically helps me understand like well, not helps me understand, but it provides information on what's considered bullish or bearish based on those specific indications. So it's part of the FF indicator basically is what that is. Give me a second, guys. Looks like we're starting to get that push up, guys. Oops, sorry, guys. All right, let's double check. Yeah, man, Shawnee's. If we respect that 709, like it's so hard to tell, right? Because we don't know where the chart's going to be tomorrow. But these key spots that I'm watching will definitely still be on watch tomorrow. So if we have like strong respective volume into those areas and we hold rejection, we got bar by bar analysis that kind of supports the thesis, then yeah, I'd be very much interested in those shorts for sure. Yeah, if I got worked out for that, that's unfortunate. But you know what? It happens, guys, right? Like think about the entire session so far where I said like, I want to long into that, but no matter what I do, it's gonna feel like it's gonna be a chase trade, right? So I was really hoping that that limit order that I took was like a good enough of a retracement on price for me to get a nice 1-to-1 R trade with the thesis that I really wanted us to tag the 731 level. But unfortunately for me, that might have just been the wrong call to take, right? And it happens. So take it easy, Vernati. Nice, nominums. To be Frankie, man, 100%, man. I don't know if you've watched my streams before, but like I show all my trades, I share the profits, the dashboards, the payouts. Like nothing is fabricated here, man. It's all legit. Um, I knew the risk. I knew the risk of that trade, right? So sometimes, a lot of times, that's why I like to like say thoughts out loud too, because it helps you check your accountability as well, right? To see if what it is you're thinking about matches kind of what you're looking for as well. So even as I look at the chart now, man, I'm looking at different time frames: the 2 minute, the 5 minute, the 15 minute, the hourly, right? And I'm thinking to myself, I'm getting some different signals on different time frames, but I'm also, as a price action trader, thinking to myself, well, I do believe that there are certain key parts of the chart that needs to get tagged, right? But yeah, so now we're watching the 709, because now we want to know is like, okay, we had that close beneath 709 just now. Will 709 act as a potential lower high for us to move lower now, right? And I would say what becomes tricky is that we're about 23 minutes away from the London market open right now. Um, and bar by bar is giving some mixed signals, right? You have reasons to continue to play this long trade because structurally speaking, we're still holding. Nothing about the structure has been broken yet. But some of the bar by bars on different time frames is leading you to believe that we're going to come down. So this is where that tricky part comes in, right? But you know what I say a lot of times too as well? On stream, there'll be times where I'll take trades just kind of entertain theses and thoughts, right? But in a lot of cases, depending on the type of account that I'm trading or the size I'm going to trade, I might be less open to taking certain trades because I'm like, you know what? A lot of times, if I don't see a long or I don't see a short, then I walk away, right? It might not make a lot of sense. But right now, price is making me feel like I got wicked out, literally, unfortunately, and it's gonna hit my TP now, which unfortunately, but it does happen, right? When's the last time you can remember over trading or revenge trading or losing in general, but then that upset you? Or how long ago since you've experienced that gut wrenching feeling? So there's a few comments to that question, Shawnee's, right? Um, when's the last time you remember over trading and revenge trading? So over trading and revenge trading, it's been quite some time, to be honest. I don't even have a recollection of how long it's been since I've done that. That's been a very long time. Now, losing in general that would upset and gut wrench feeling, I would say that there have been times where I sized a little bit higher into a trade because I felt good about it. But even though, yes, it like hit my check boxes, the playbook and all that, no one likes to take a loss, right? Especially if it's a higher size loss. So yeah, I'm still gonna get that occasionally, but no, not so much. I mean, when you're trading your own personal capital, that's also a very different feeling in itself. So I think like when I'm trading options, I'm trading higher size, it's personal capital, so it feels a little bit differently in comparison to trading props, right? So that'll be my answer to you. Don't know if that answers it, but how do you deal with it? Best actually up to such events. Yeah, Shawnee's. I mean, I think that a lot of traders take the P&L like, well, you guys like manage the P&L a little too much, and we take losses too personal because it triggers that fight or flight response in us psychologically. But in the end of the day, when we're trading, we are just trying to build playbooks for ourselves to understand the expected value of yourself as a trader, right? To see what you can get out of it. I think a lot of times, if you can have a good understanding of the probability rate of a setup, that does help you get through things a little bit better, right? Because if you know most of the time when you've taken trades and it's worked for you, and it just so happens that today didn't work, I mean, is that really a good reason for you to not do it, right? Things happen, right? I mean, even as an athlete, right? You find different ways to tackle the game, so to speak. Just because you missed the shot, and whether it's the net or the hoop, right? Does that mean now you suddenly throw out years of discipline and training of becoming that said athlete just because you missed it once? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, right? So I think for a lot of us, it's just being able to build the repetition and the routine to understand, hey, you know what? This setup usually works for me. If it didn't work today, then all good. And so that way you can hopefully mentally you can walk away, right? Get back in, bro. No, no. I'm good. I'm good. I mean, even right now, I mean, we just had a 5 minute failure candle as well, and then we just closed beneath the 709 as well. So this could potentially be that potential lower high that I was referring to. So this is what I'm referring to, right? There's too much indecision for me right now, so I'm not really feeling great. Like a part of me is like, this is going to go down from here because the potential lower high with that 5 minute close could be the candle that sends us, right? But at the same time, I'm not feeling overly bearish either. At least not yet. I do want us to make those moves that I referred to early beforehand. Scalping 0 TDs but small position. Hey man, yeah, if it works for you, man, absolutely. Yeah, Shawnee's man. Hopefully that helps your mentals, dude. Hopefully that helps your mentals. In about 19 minutes, the London market's going to open here. We are about 88 thumbs up away for that giveaway. Probably could delete this scalp for now, to be honest, just because of the timing of where we are right now. You can see here on the FF indicator as well, we are kind of like setting this bounce off the trigger line, respecting that trend line that we have above here. That's making it seem like we might go lower here. This would be kind of the definition of a 1, 2, 3 to the downside on the FF indicator. Not saying that that's going to play out, but that's kind of essentially what that would be. Now, if you were looking for like a 1 hour scalp trade in respect to how this trigger line works, like if you were using the FF indicator, essentially what I would be wanting to look for here is to see if we can get a 2 minute double bottom bounce, because that double bottom bounce will also be triggered by a trigger line bounce, right? So that could offer us as a 1 hour scalp trade, or maybe more, depending on like obviously like the position sizing and what have you. But so it'd be something like this. But we'd have to wait for the bounce though, right? So we'll have to see. So if we were scalping it, it'd be something like this. I'm not going to take it right now. I'm just going to set the limit order up just to see if just maybe it offers us an opportunity to scalp. Christopher Huffman, the book that I recommended was, so the author is Al Brooks, and the books are called Bar by Bar, trading bar by bar, either trading the range, reversals, or trends. If you search on Amazon, you can probably order them. What would you say for AMD since we have time? What are you thinking about for AMD? I haven't traded options in a couple months now, to be honest. So I haven't really been looking at the names as much. But obviously, with the names coming back into futures now, I mean, I very likely will probably start trading Tesla futures once that actually becomes a thing. Nominoms might not be a bad call if you're feeling conflicted. That makes sense. So Shawnees, depending on where you are around the world, I think that answer would differ. All right, because I think the rules on leverage is different in different places, right? So I don't know what the bare minimum is for capital to put into an account to trade futures. I also think that that's also brokerage dependent. So I know Ron G trades live capital on his futures. I don't know if he still does. I know that's where he did for a very long time. So I still think he does. He might be the best guy to ask that question to. Actually, I don't know if Ron, if you're lurking in the background right now. So if you are, you can totally chime into that question. And Sleepy Mocha, absolutely. I don't know when you typed that question. I don't know if you typed it after I made my comment, but yes, if Tesla comes back onto the futures market, then I absolutely will. Yeah, Shawnees. Yeah, it is possible, but that's what I was referring to when I talked about the taking a look at the brokerage, because certain brokerages do require a minimum amount of cash in order for you to be allowed to even trade futures, right? So I just don't know the amount. See how this 2 minute candle closes. Looks like we might close beneath the trigger line here. Some selling pressures coming in. So this 2-minute candle closing bearish beneath the trigger line would kind of invalidate the thought process they've been wanting to scalp right now. I was asking more to figure out the bottoms. Roya Kama, sorry, just want to make sure when you're asking for the bottoms, are you asking the bottoms for like the AMD ticker? Is that what you're referring to, or is that something else? 5 p.m. local. Is that question for me? No, I mean, I feel like before, if you had a few $1,000s, you could be able to. But again, you'd have to check. I don't know, depending on where you are, what country you're in. I think the rules might be slightly different, man. Yeah, you know what? I don't know. So Gail's question, I don't know what that's going to do. I mean, I think the fact that key names like Tesla, NVDA, Meta can be traded 24 hours of the day, or maybe not, sorry, not 24, 22 hours of the day. I mean, is there pros and cons? Yeah, potentially. I mean, I think that more capability of getting money in and out of the markets. But I don't know what that's going to do. Due to the market. I don't know if that's going to create more higher probability to gap up and gap downs on markets, because now, technically speaking, if people can move money in sooner, I don't know. Maybe it's hard to say. I guess I don't really know enough about the mechanics behind futures tickers to be able to have a good sense of what that would even look like for us, right? Yeah, Roy Kama. I mean, I think a lot of times when we're looking for like bottoms on charts, really what we're doing is we're doing a bar by bar analysis, but we're just zooming out to the larger time frames and looking for that. You can never really. I mean, I understand why everyone tries to time the bottom, but it's kind of difficult, right? Because any kind of economic news or company changes in structures and earnings can really shift the balance and scale of things, right? So, I mean, as of right now, I mean, the NQ and QQQ as a whole has been taking quite a bit of a pullback as of late. So, I think based on that, you can imagine that hopefully price is providing you values for you to be able to enter in on. It's still hard to say. I mean, on the larger time frame, NQ's been ranging. We've been setting. We look like we've been kind of attempting to break the structure and break lower, but it's not certain yet if that's going to happen, right? So. I think a couple of streams we've been talking about the fact that we could potentially just range. Like we could literally range for until the end of the year. I know that sounds disgustingly gross, but it's very possible, right? So hard to say, man. Interesting that price is just holding here. Two features is easy enough for those options. Yeah, Shawnees, you might have to just do some research where you are. Yeah, Roya Kama. I mean, I have to switch over to the chart, so give me a second here. Because I'm gonna have to add the name into my ticker because I haven't been looking at that in quite some time. Yeah, when you look at a chart like AMD, like to say like you're trying to time the bottom is kind of wild. Honestly, I understand your question here, but if you take a look at this, right, like we've just been on a monumental tear. We haven't put in a higher low on the larger time frames, right? What are we doing here? We've been clearly hitting walls, right? We look like we tried breaking structure down here, but we kind of bought right back up. So the idea of looking for bears, man, like at this point in time, all you can really do, and you're just looking like trading from the range perspective, is you can try to use the range low here at 440, 460 maybe, and try to tap something in there for a holder longer hold move. But I mean, to think that will AMD come all the way down here to the 350s or 400s, I mean, that's kind of like hard to say if price is really going to do that. So yeah, man, if you're, this is why like a lot of times people who are buying assets like this for a long-term hold, they don't buy this for the purpose of trying to time the lows or whatever it may be, because or sorry, or if you're trying to figure out like a specific cost average to an account, I think a lot of times people who are trading like this just dollar cost average and hold for the longer term. So that'd be my answer to you, to be honest, based on how high we've moved. I would probably look at range lows as your so-called proverbial bottom, but yeah, man, I personally wouldn't time that too much. Do you think it can go to top? Jessica, top for what? What are you referring to? Yeah, Roy Kama. I mean, I don't put a lot of eggs into that kind of basket. Yeah, I don't like to. I'm not a speculative trader, right? So I don't like looking at stuff like that. Like, I'm just giving you my technical opinion. My technical opinion is what I told you, right? Yeah, big ass range. I haven't looked at QQQ's level chart in a long time, so I wouldn't be able to speak to that one too much, to be honest. As of right now, NQ. I mean, that was an interesting failure candle, but now you notice that we're kind of creating that staircase effect, right? We kind of like we didn't tag 731, but we started putting lower. Then we start putting a potential lower high at 709. Now it looks like we're trying to put a lower high in underneath 700. Now the challenge is that after the move that we just had, you can see where this wick closed, right? Like we essentially tagged the last prior higher low back that we had back there. So if you're a pattern trader and you're looking at this chart, you're thinking to yourself, is this a bull flag? You know, are we setting up a bull flag right now where we're just going to launch upwards? Like that's obviously what you're thinking right now, right? So based on the fact that the London market's going to open here in 6 minutes, either direction's too risky. Either direction's too risky, in my personal opinion. This is a great example of, at best, what you can do is scalp. You can't do any more than that at this point, because anything else you take right now would be like super risky. What are my thoughts on gold? Roy Kama, no problem, man. I'm glad I can provide you some thoughts. So gold, as I mentioned earlier, we're coming out of an hourly buy. Looks like we're trying to move our way back up. Now we are testing VWAP, right? We obviously bounced off Globex there for a sec there, looking kind of like a resistance flip support, but we are beneath VWAP right now, right? And so that gets me a little bit dicey. And considering the fact that now we're 5 minutes away from London market open, again, I wouldn't want to hop into anything right now. 5 minutes, like you're in between key areas right now, it just becomes risky. I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't touch gold right now. Personal opinion. If it confirms this lower low could go. Yeah, man, time you gotta wait, man. At this point, it's again, like I said, scalp if you want to scalp, but I think holding a position right now is too risky. I think you guys have seen me hold positions into open before, and it doesn't bode well. In Globex, I was pretty sure I've told you this answer before, Amin. Globex is when the futures market opens. Leo, I don't use volume profile at all. Not that I have anything against it at all, actually. I just don't. I just don't use it because I don't know anything about it. But I've actually purchased a couple of books pertaining to volume profile and order flow. So I do have plans to learn it. And I think it will probably work nicely into my trading system, but no guarantee. Honestly, I've been kind of just picking Mitch's brain as well about just gamma exposure, right? So I might take a look at gamma exposure as an option instead. Basically, I mean, I already have a system for how I monitor levels and reference points and stuff like that on a chart. So personally, for me, I'm more so kind of looking at whether or not these additional layers are going to support my trading thesis, right? You're asking me to look at Ethereum. I don't trade crypto. I don't trade crypto, man. So I honestly wouldn't be able to provide you much of a thesis on the crypto market. Yeah, Lil Joe, I've heard people talk about the how each of them kind of plays a different role. And I think it depends on, again, your system of trading and which one makes a little bit more sense to each person. Um, yeah, that's right. Order flow. There you go. That makes more sense, Lojo. Order flow and volume profile, I've been told, is basically similar, very similar in a lot of its own ways, right? But gamma exposure is very different in regards to how that goes hand in hand. But again, coming from a person who hasn't really learned everything about it yet, right? So I got to learn it first. There is a stock of it. Yeah, yeah, but still, Ethereum is Ethereum. It's still crypto based, right? I assume is what you're asking still. Point of control indicator and why certain protocols use it, the point of it. Yeah, POC, I mean, point of control, again, I think kind of plays into volume profile. Again, I don't know enough about it, information to leverage it. I have students that use volume profile and point of control as like additional leverages into their trading. So as long as it makes sense, then power to you. A chart's a chart, though. Yeah, I mean, plurs in regards to that, crypto's just not my thing, man. I don't like even talking about crypto personally. So, I mean, if you want to look at crypto, I mean, you can kind of use the basis of how I read NQ and gold to go into that. But personally, I don't want to talk about crypto too much. It's just not my cup of tea. I don't even encourage crypto for anyone. So if you guys like trading it, that's up to you guys, man. But I'm not a big fan of it. Did I get a fill in that trade? What trade? Oh no, that wasn't. I was looking to scalp earlier, is what I was trying to do there. So no, I wouldn't have gotten a fill. I mean, I could still try to scalp this if I really, really wanted to. We're 2 minutes up from opening. What do you guys think? Should I scalp? Yay or nay? With 1 minute left to this candle, should I scalp longs? Nay. I like some of your guys' response. Yay for entertainment. In 25 seconds, the market's going to open. Oh, you guys are too funny. All right. Market's going to open in 10 seconds. 3 seconds. What's the market going to do here? Would that have hit? Would that have hit? What's it doing? Oh, I guess it would have been a hit. I guess whoever was betting on longs, you had the right call for that scalp trade, guys. Rye guy, man. You in the no risk, no Rory, man. You degen. All right, we're coming up to this key area now. So now I'm kind of curious if it's worth scalping the shorts of this area before I log off here. Let's see. I was looking for a scalp trade in this area, and I was looking for basically kind of like 10 points. Yay, you took that long. Nice, nice. So yeah, you know what? Honestly, throughout the stream here today, guys, as you guys saw me do the chart review and my narrative, I may have taken a long trade that I, took an L on, but technically speaking, as far as what I was looking for on the chart review, nothing has really presented nicely for us. So to kind of recap the thought process, you guys were like, oh, why not short? Yeah, maybe scalp trade shorts could have worked out, but structurally speaking, we haven't broken it, so it'd be hard to go against the grain of the longs. I do think tagging the top area was still a very key part of our thesis tonight. So I think all in all, I'm content with where we ended up. We'll see if there's any opportunities. I mean, I'm obviously still going to be hanging around here, finishing up some work before I hit the hay here. And then there's the New York session. So I still may take something, but just remember what I said about what we're looking for. We're either looking for on the NQ a break and retest of those highs, or we're looking for a short signal to short that upper end of that range, which we've been essentially looking for, right? So anyways, that's kind of my 2 cents, gang. I know tonight's night action was a little bit slower, not as fun, but you know what? Hopefully, either way, though, hopefully you guys were able to take some things away from tonight. And I will try to signal any trades in the Discord tonight if I do take anything, but my trade thesis will stand the same. That's all I'm looking for tonight. Nothing else changes for that. So anyways, yeah. I like how you guys get the 400 likes literally right at the very end here, guys. Like right at the very end. You guys are freaking hilarious. Yeah, sorry, dude. I mean, we weren't there before my time was up, so I gotta respect the game here. I know you guys are like, I really, really want it, but we'll have to save this for next stream, guys. We'll have to save it for next stream. But in terms of Instagram, I'm having troubles kind of using this right now while I'm on my travel setup. I can't even copy and paste things properly. How do I do Instagram again? I don't remember how to do this. Yeah, anyways, don't worry about it, guys. I'm trying to figure out what the hotkey for is, but I actually don't remember what the hotkey was for it. But the Discord's here. It's not free, unfortunately. It's not my thing. Oh, is it like that? Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right, guy. That is right. That is how it's done. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. There you go. That's my Instagram link there. So just drop me a comment in the Instagram there or drop a follow. We can definitely chat more there. But as far as Discord goes there, I'll put the Discord link there as well for you guys. Awesome. All right, man. You guys have a wonderful night, man. Thanks for tuning in, man. I'll be back at my home setup for tomorrow's stream. Hopefully we'll get some nice price action. But yeah, keep track of what we talked about tonight, man. Okay? Take it easy, guys.